the aurora borealis and being in this freezing place, some people might look at that and be like, that's a no man's land. They put a camera there with a helicopter or air vac or whatever and just get out of there. You know it's crazy. You before the break you talked about I think people's perception of like space, because you're not in the space, so they think that the space is being created by like an alien. They're looking at it through you're not there. With being out the aurora borealis and being in this freezing place, some people might look at that and be like, that's a no man's land. They put a camera there with a helicopter or air vac or whatever and just get out of there. Where did you sleep during this time? For people that
Northern
don't,
Lights.
Yeah. Where'd you sleep?
We didn't get much sleep. We basically sat in a car. We were out in the cold most of the time, and then after like day 3, day 4, we got comfortable with the system. We basically hid. We pressed record and hide. I remember there was the one with the tent. The one scene with the tent. I won't forget this because people have never been in weather this cold. You have to understand sound travels differently. It actually is kind of muted in some regards because there's snow on the ground, not a lot of, right? So it's a different sound at minus 30 than it is at plus 50 degrees Celsius. So when you sit there and you can take in all the cold and the lack of sound is something of itself. And talking about cold in a short story, we were celebrating I remember shooting that tent scene. We brought out some Alexander Keys, which we have here in Canada, cracked it, took a cheers and took a sip, and we couldn't take a second one because it already started to freeze.
That's what I was going to say.
It was that cold.
That's what I was going to say. Because
this is alcohol. It's like 5.5%.
It's nuts because what people don't understand is that like 10 seconds in minus 40 weather is
30.
Minus 30?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't make it sound bigger than it is.
I feel like you're wrong. I feel like not Fernie. I feel like when we were in Winnipeg shooting for Ben's.
Different. I'm just telling you, I actually saw the mark.
I think Ben's was minus 30.
Ben's was minus 40.
Oh, Ben's was colder?
It was minus 47 at night. It was like minus 35.
That was,
so you're talking about a different. You're talking about.
Sorry, I'm just jumping. Yeah, because I was trying to remember the times.
Mercedes-Benz.
Because we've experienced.
It was so cold. I couldn't put the lenses on the cameras because there were different temperatures. The cameras were warmer than the lenses, so you could put the lenses on.
And I mean, growing up in Ontario, I'm used to cold, so this is not a Caribbean ignorance. I'm not gonna blame this on Caribbean ignorance or anything. I grew up in Toronto, but so I decide, one sock I'll be kind of cold, 2 socks I'll be warmer. So I put on these 2 socks, and what these guys I didn't realize till later, is that when you put on 2 socks, the second sock makes the first sock make your foot sweat. So what happens is the sweat your foot gets sweaty, and then it dries and cools on your foot and then freezes. So the moisture of the sweat freezes onto your foot and just like encapsulates your foot in ice.
It's almost like don't go inside for too long and get warm because you're gonna have to come outside and face your body freezing again.